Hello students, in the last session we have studied about regulation of kidney. In that we have completed auto-regulation, how renal auto-regulation takes place. In renal auto-regulation we have completed myogenic auto-regulation and tubuloglomerular auto-regulation. Okay. Then we have started with the neural regulation. In neural regulation, basically sympathetic nervous system plays very important role in regulating the GFR rate. Okay. Then now we will be learning important regulation of kidney as far as hormones are concerned. Okay. Here hormones will play very important role in regulation of kidney. Okay. So the third type of regulation is hormonal regulation of kidney. So in hormonal regulation, not all hormones will be involved in regulating the function of the kidney. Okay. Which will be the hormones, can you guess, which will control the excretion and control the functioning of the kidney? One is ADH, antidiuretic hormone. Okay. Then renin, then aldosterone, atrial natriuretic factor. All these are the hormones which we will be learning and their role, how they are responsible for regulating the kidney functions. Okay. Now let us start with the first hormone effect, that is ADH, एंटी हार्मोन कैसे रेगुलेट करता है किडनी का फंक्शन, वो हम लोग स्टडी करेंगे. Okay. So in that I have taken one condition, that is if there is shortage of water in our body. Okay. Shortage of water क्यों हो सकता है? Because of excessive sweating, or else if the person is not having water for much time, then definitely there will be shortage of water in the body. Okay. So body को water gain करना है, water gain करने के लिए there should be maximum reabsorption from the nephron. Okay. So for maximum reabsorption of water, there is one hormone which will regulate the water level in the blood and maintain osmolarity as well as normal blood pressure and blood volume. Okay. So क्या हो रहा है, ये कंडीशन में शॉर्टेज ऑफ वाटर है. शॉर्टेज ऑफ वाटर मीन्स देर इज लेस अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर इन द बॉडी फ्लूइड. ओके. रीजन कैन बी एक्सेसिव स्वेटिंग और एल्स इफ दैट पर्सन इज कंज्यूमिंग वेरी लेस अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर. ओके. सो अभी वाटर कम हो गया बॉडी फ्लूइड्स में का, दैट मीन्स व्हाट विल हैपन टू द ब्लड वॉल्यूम, ब्लड वॉल्यूम विल डिक्रीज. ओके. सो ब्लड वॉल्यूम डिक्रीजेस, ब्लड वॉल्यूम अगर कम हो गया तो ब्लड विच इज फ्लोइंग इन द ब्लड वेसल्स, इट विल एक्सर्ट लेस प्रेशर ओवर द वॉल्स ऑफ द ब्लड वेसल्स. सो दैट मीन्स ब्लड बीपी विल डिक्रीज. देन बीपी डिक्रीज हो गया है, वाटर ब्लड में का कम हो गया, बॉडी फ्लूइड में का वाटर कम हो गया है, इसका मतलब सॉल्ट कॉन्सेंट्रेशन हैज़ इंक्रीज, दैट इज solutes have become more. Okay. And when the solute concentration is more in the solution, osmolarity of the solution will increase. Okay. So osmolarity of the blood has increased. Why osmolarity of the blood has increased? Because there is shortage of water in the body fluids, less amount of water is there, so body fluid will become more concentrated. That means osmolarity of the blood will increase. And what will happen to the GFR rate? GFR क्या है? ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेशन रेट. ग्लोमेरुलर फिल्ट्रेशन रेट कांस्टेंट रहने का कोशिश करती है बॉडी. ओके. बाय सिक्रेटिंग सर्टन हॉर्मोन्स. अभी यहाँ ये केस में क्या हो गया है, देयर इज शॉर्टेज ऑफ वाटर. शॉर्टेज ऑफ वाटर के कारण ब्लड प्रेशर डिक्रीज हुआ है, ब्लड वॉल्यूम डिक्रीज हुआ है, ऑस्मोलैरिटी ऑफ द ब्लड हैज़ इंक्रीज. सो ब्लड वॉल्यूम कम है तो GFR भी कम हो जाएगा. सो फिल्ट्रेशन रेट विल डिक्रीज. ओके. सो टू मेक द BP नॉर्मल, देयर शुड बी reabsorption of more water from the tubules of the nephron, and for that purpose ADH hormone will be secreted. Now we will study how exactly antidiuretic hormone is secreted in our body. Okay. We will be learning in hormonal coordination that pituitary gland has 3 lobes, anterior lobe, then intermediate lobe and posterior lobe. Okay. So, out of that, posterior lobe of the pituitary stores antidiuretic hormone and oxytocin. Okay. And whatever hormones which are stored in the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland, those hormones are produced by the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is the part of the forebrain. Okay. Floor of the diencephalon को क्या बोलते हैं? Hypothalamus. So, hypothalamus is the part of the brain. That hypothalamus will produce ADH in large quantity. Okay. So, ADH will be produced by the hypothalamus in large quantity when there is less amount of water in the body fluids. Okay. अभी body fluids में water ज़्यादा होने के लिए hypothalamus के ऊपर osmoreceptors रहते हैं. क्या रहते हैं? Osmoreceptors. Name itself suggests they will detect the osmolarity of the blood. Osmolarity of the blood क्या हो गया है? Water कम है blood में, that means osmolarity of the blood has increased. So वो normal करने के लिए osmolarity decrease करना पड़ेगा थोड़ा बहुत. Okay. So for that purpose अभी osmolarity increase हो गया है, that will be detected by the osmoregulators which are present over the hypothalamus of the brain. Okay. So brain के osmoregulators hypothalamus में जो situated है, these will get stimulated. क्यों stimulated हो गया? Osmolarity of the blood has increased. That means BV has decreased and BP has decreased. Okay. So now this hypothalamus will further produce more of ADH. पहले तो produce करके रखता ही है वो, but और ज़्यादा produce करने लगता है ADH, antidiuretic hormone. And whatever antidiuretic hormone which is produced by the hypothalamus will be stored in the posterior lobe of the pituitary. Okay. So posterior lobe of the pituitary gland will store more of ADH because now more of ADH should enter in the blood for increasing the blood volume. Okay. So now whatever ADH which is stored in the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland, okay, that will be entering in the blood. Okay. Once the antidiuretic hormone enters in the blood, it will reach two parts of the nephron, that is distal convoluted tubule and collecting duct. Okay. So these are the last parts of the nephron. Okay. Renal tubule का last part क्या है ये? Distal convoluted tubule and which is leading to collecting duct. Okay. So what will happen once the ADH reaches the peritubular capillaries surrounding DCT and collecting duct, DCT cells as well as collecting duct cells will get stimulated. Okay. And they will get order from the ADH, abhi zyada water reabsorb karo. Okay. And likewise the cells of the DCT and collecting duct will start reabsorbing the water which is present in the nephric filtrate. Okay. बहुत ज़्यादा quantity में water reabsorption हो जाएगा. And likewise whatever water which has been absorbed by these DCT cells will enter in the peritubular capillaries blood. Okay. Likewise water enter होने के कारण there is increase in the volume of the blood. BV will increase as well as blood pressure will also increase because water is entering inside. Okay. So what will happen? The pressure exerted by the body fluid will be much now. So BP will increase. Okay. So what has happened? Distal convoluted tubule and collecting duct due to action of ADH will reabsorb more water, and because of more water reabsorption blood volume has increased, blood pressure has increased. What will happen to the osmolarity now? Osmolarity मैंने क्या बोला? सोल्यूट ज़्यादा रहेगा अगर ब्लड में तो osmolarity ब्लड का इंक्रीज होता है. सो पहले इंक्रीज हुआ था, अभी वाटर रीअब्जॉर्ब हो चुका है. सो डेफिनेटली व्हाट विल हैपन टू द osmolarity ऑफ द ब्लड? Osmolarity of the blood will decrease. Okay, because of maximum reabsorption of water from distal convoluted tubule and collecting duct. Okay, got it? So this is the condition wherein what is happening, shortage of water के कारण BP लो हुआ था, blood volume लो हुआ था, osmolarity increase हुआ था and GFR has decreased. So this was the condition. So at that time what has happened, ADH started producing in large number. ADH has produced in large number because of stimulation of the osmoreceptors of hypothalamus. Okay, once the osmoreceptors get stimulated, what will happen, ADH will be produced in more quantity by the hypothalamus and this ADH will reach the posterior lobe of the pituitary. Pituitary gland will store more of ADH and it will be released by the pituitary gland in the bloodstream, and through bloodstream antidiuretic hormone will reach the peritubular capillaries surrounding the DCT and collecting duct. Thus these cells of distal convoluted tubule and collecting duct will absorb more of water. There will be maximum reabsorption of water, because of which the blood volume will increase, BP will increase, GFR will increase and blood osmolarity will decrease. Okay. So this was the first condition. Now we will study the second condition. Okay. अब यहाँ पे क्या था, शॉर्टेज ऑफ वाटर. रीज़न क्या बोला था मैंने, एक्सेसिव स्वेटिंग, समर सीजन है, ज़्यादा पानी लगता है बट उतना पानी नहीं पिया तो डेफिनेटली व्हाट इज़ गोइंग टू हैपन, BP विल डिक्रीज. At that time how the BP becomes normal, because of the activity of osmoreceptors and production of ADH. Okay. Now we will see the opposite scenario. Okay. Now you also think what will happen if there is excess intake of water. So यहाँ पे shortage है, shortage की जगह पे आप हम लोग लेंगे excess intake of water. Okay. So if there is excess intake of water, what is going to happen, volume of the blood volume क्या हो जाएगा, उल्टा हो जाएगा. Blood volume will increase because there is much more intake of water. Okay, more amount of water will enter the blood, so blood volume increases. Blood pressure will increase because ज़्यादा volume of blood है blood vessels में and that blood is exerting pressure over the walls of the blood vessels. That's why BP will increase. Now water is more, so solute का concentration कम हो जाएगा. That means osmolarity of the blood will decrease. पहले क्या हुआ था, increase हुआ था shortage of water के time, excessive intake of water. Individual has drunk much amount of water, so at that time BV will increase, BP will increase, osmolarity of the blood will decrease. BV increase हुआ है, BP increase हुआ है, तो glomerular filtration rate will also increase. Okay, but we have to, body has to regulate the BP as well as GFR rate. So now what will happen, because of this अभी ADH produce नहीं होना चाहिए ज़्यादा quantity में. If more ADH will be produced, there will be much more reabsorption of water, and if there is much more reabsorption of water, again what is going to happen, blood volume will still rise and BP will still rise. So ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए. अभी BP control में आने के लिए BP low करना पड़ेगा body को. So at that time what is going to happen, this BP and BV which has increased, it has to be controlled. So there will be no more secretion of ADH by hypothalamus because osmoreceptors अभी stimulate नहीं होते. There is no stimulation of osmoreceptors to maximum extent, because of which the hypothalamus will stop producing. Okay, hypothalamus stops producing ADH. यहाँ पे secrete हो रहा था, अभी stop हो जाएगा. And if there is no more secretion of the ADH, there will be less release. Okay, less release of the ADH. ADH will be stored, but quantity which is stored in the posterior lobe of the pituitary will decrease. Okay. So what will happen? यहाँ पे क्या लिखना है? As BP increases, ADH will not be released from the posterior lobe of pituitary. Okay. And what will happen? There will be less amount of ADH present in the blood, and because of less amount of ADH there will be no further reabsorption. So reabsorption of more water will not take place in DCT and CT. Normally तो water reabsorption होता ही है DCT and CT में, but as compared to the earlier case there will be very less reabsorption of water from the DCT and CD. Zero level पे कभी नहीं आता है secretion. Some amount of ADH will be secreted by the posterior lobe of the pituitary in the blood, but that quantity will be very negligible because sufficient amount of water is already present in the body fluids. Okay, got it? So there will be very less reabsorption of water. Okay, so ultimately what will happen? Urine में water ज़्यादा release हो जाएगा. So how will be the urine? Urine will be hypotonic. So hypotonic urine will be excreted out, and blood has now water का reabsorption कम हो गया, means BP will decrease, blood volume will decrease, glomerular filtration rate will decrease, and blood osmolarity में क्या changes होंगे? Water ज़्यादा है अभी, water का reabsorption कम हो गया, so blood osmolarity will increase. Okay, got it? So BV, BP and GFR has decreased and there is increase in the osmolarity of the blood. Okay, got it? समझ में आया? So this is what happens. So यहाँ पे क्या हो गया? Distal convoluted tubule and collecting duct will not have absorb more of water. So water का absorption कम हो गया यहाँ पे. Osmolarity बढ़ा कम हुआ था, यहाँ पे क्या होगा? Increase होगा osmolarity. Okay, got it? So this is all about the how exactly our body regulates the BP as well as blood volume. Okay, how it is regulating? By either controlling the secretion of ADH or else by releasing ADH. Okay, so again we will quickly revise. If there is excess intake of water, what is going to happen? Volume of the blood will increase, blood pressure will increase, osmolarity of the blood will decrease. ज़्यादा water है, GFR increases. Okay, so to normalize everything, what will happen? Osmoreceptors will not be stimulated further. Osmoreceptors किसके? Hypothalamus के stimulate नहीं होंगे, तो definitely there will be no that much secretion of ADH. If there is no more secretion of ADH, very less amount of ADH will be stored in the posterior lobe of the pituitary and very negligible amount of ADH will be entering in the blood. Okay, got it? It will not be released or very less amount of ADH will be released. Okay, so if ADH is less, DCT and CT थोड़ा ही reabsorb करेंगे water. If less amount of water is reabsorbed, now what will happen? More water will be released from the urine. So hypotonic urine will be excreted out. Blood volume क्या हो जाएगा? कम हो जाएगा. BP will decrease. Blood volume कम हुआ है तो BP will also decrease. GFR will also decrease. Okay, and blood osmolarity will increase. Okay, got it? So this is the this is all about the hormonal regulation of kidney by secretion of antidiuretic hormone. Okay, then now we will study in the next session other hormones which play very important role in kidney regulations. Thank you.